Salute. Shot with Scott. We're going to start it off right.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers. So, we're here with the lovely Shelly Leatherman. I've spent all week here in Nashville. Thank you for joining us on iShowcase Music and the Messina connection. And there's just so many connections, so many things happening. And she and I have actually known each other for 5 years, and we just met in person. I don't even remember. Did we meet? How did we meet?
Basically through the land sale company.
You tried to sell me land. She tried to sell me land.
I'll sell you everything.
That's all. So wait, but you inspired me, and you're part of the reason why I wanted to come here and just start getting the iShowcase footprint across the land, you know? It's an interesting town, and I can't wait to hear your story, and I know a lot of it, but I just want the viewers to hear how you've survived, how you came to be, you know, an ambassador for Nashville, and just tell us about yourself.
Well, thank you. I am, I've been an artist for quite a while. I'm a mother. I am a songwriter. And I spend most of my time in the recording studio and things like that, and really focusing more on, I started out literally behind the scenes, really at one point when I decided to have children and things like that, I went from being an artist to focusing more on being an engineer, producer, working behind the scenes with a lot of artists and musicians, things like that, and spending all my time in the studio, in the recording studio, and I loved it, and I still love it, and it's one thing that just has my heart that I don't think I can ever let go of. Just love it to death, and love being in the studio, love being able to just help artists create and, record their projects, bring everything to life is just really something special.
It's been a whirlwind for you.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind for me for sure.
How many years have you been in Nashville?
So actually, crazy story, 9 years last week.
Oh, well, happy anniversary.
Thanks.
Happy anniversary. There's a certain attitude here. I mean, residing in Orlando, born and raised in D.C. For me, but residing in Orlando, I understand the good old boy system, and you know who you don't want to work with, and you know who the good guys are. But Nashville is times 100. Nashville is people try to come here and they try to barrel forward. I'm going to take this town by storm. No. Have the attitude, and tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Have the attitude that, hey, thank you for letting me work here. Thank you for letting me film here. Thank you for letting me be a part of this awesome community, good old boy or not. I respect the CMAs. I respect all the hard work that everybody does, and I respect the hierarchy in that.
Absolutely.
And then I'm also learning a lot about, and tell me if I'm wrong, vibes. People, if you're a pain in the ass,
we don't want nothing to do with it.
I think that's anywhere, but it's really, really here.
Yeah. Oh, very much so. And I think that's a music thing in general, and maybe that's why. Because I mean, I will tell you, most people hire me in the studio because I'm just fun to be around. I'm cool. I'm laid back. I'm chill. I get the job done. And I'm fun to be around. People just want a good hang. Yeah. I mean, they want to make sure that they're around people that bring good energy. And if you don't bring that, and you're not that cool, collected, just got it together kind of individual, then they don't want any part of it. They're, vibes are everything.
Vibes are everything.
Really, and especially when it comes to creating, you got to be in a good atmosphere that really brings out the best in you. And I think people like that tend to do that just kind of go with the flow. I think that's really the key, is just going with the flow and being laid back and chill, and just a good heart, is important.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Being of service, I think that's important in Nashville community. I think for me, coming here, my whole thought process was like, how can I serve? How can I serve this community? What can I give to this community? I didn't come here looking to get anything. I came here thinking, okay, what can I give? What do I got that I can offer this community? And I think that's something that a lot of artists and musicians probably need to keep in their mind when they come to a place like this that can be kind of somewhat cliquish and reserved, is just, how can you serve these people? How can you help?
How can you help?
Yeah.
That's what iShowcase Music channel is all about.
Yeah.
iShowcase TV takes pride in, I've been in the music industry my whole life, and it's just, there's so many, it's so hard
Yeah.
But the culture here, I mean, the fact that you can walk into a songwriting open mic night and just everyone's silent and actually paying attention and listening and appreciating the art is unreal. But it's also, you know, when I went to that open mic night last night and then I'm going to Bluebird Sunday, you know, when I saw 20 guitars and mandolins and fiddles in line waiting to get, how these people want to be heard. They want to be heard, and they want that audience to hear them, and the audience is appreciating it, and they're paid. You would never have that in different towns that I know of. But how cool will it be when we're able to stream some of this and start streaming these performances and doing interviews like I'm doing with you and getting the word out there, telling people stories and helping them. You know, it's not just about YouTube and about IG and TikTok and all of that. That has its place.
Yeah. And
it's great for promotion, great for marketing. But exactly what you said, to circle back, how can you help these artists, you know, fulfill their dreams?
Yeah.
And not everybody's good.
Yeah.
And that's the brutality of it.
It's
not everybody's good.
Sure.
I don't know about you. I've spent my whole life, you know, mastering what I do best. But your sound, I mean, when you're talking about engineering, your sound is great. I mean, your sound is great. Your music video is hysterical. She got on a biplane. You guys, what's the name of the song again?
We Go Hard.
We Go Hard.
Yeah.
Got on a biplane and was like 10,000, 20,000 feet up. It was crazy.
It was definitely crazy. I mean, honestly, it took days of preparing myself mentally and emotionally, really, to get up there and do that. It took a full day of training to be able to pull that off. Yeah, I had to go to like a whole school to be able to do that. Like, it wasn't just a hop up there and go ride on the wings of an airplane and fly like a bird.
It wasn't like jumping out like skydiving either, because they always have you do a tandem, right? So you were by yourself. We're going to show a clip of the video.
It was pretty crazy.
We're going to show a clip of the video.
We go hard. 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 We go hard.
It was intense. And I will say, like, I took one for the team, you know, but I will say, you know, I mean, I was nauseous for like 24 hours after that. It was bad.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. It was like,
that's your middle ear. That has to do with vertigo. You're in your middle ear.
Yeah, and I was like, whoo, yeah. But I was okay, you know, it's fine. I was glad I did it, glad I got it done, glad I faced my fears.
I'm glad you didn't mix my song the next day.
Right. Yeah. No,
I'm glad I didn't have Shelly doing her magic the next day with being dizzy.
Yeah, I actually flew out to do that in Washington State, in a town called Sequim, Washington,
cool.
which kind of overlooks Lake Victoria in Canada. And it was, I mean, the views from up there obviously were worth every bit of it. It was so cool. The views were incredible. And then, you know, drove back to Seattle the next day and flew back home.
How was the weather when you did that? Like
it was actually cold. It was October. And, you know, it's up north, you know, in Washington State. It was getting pretty cold at that point.
Yeah.
So I doubled up on like 2 fleece outfits
there you go.
for the plane ride and everything. And it was still cold, but it was like, you know, it wasn't too bad.
Speaking of cold, why do I come to Nashville this week and it's 11 degrees, 7 degrees, snowing? So this entire town shut down. This entire town shut down for 3 inches of snow, and I just started laughing. Being in a Maryland native and D.C., and I mean, come on, man, we were in the blizzard of the 70s. I'm showing my age, 78, I think it was. But what I did do, it's the entrepreneur in me. I said, I bet you there's not a lot of drone footage of Nashville with snow on the ground.
With snow, yeah.
And so I went out there. Train was coming by, and we're on the 32nd floor, and I was just like, whoa. And I just droned all the snow that morning, and I was like, I'm going to lose my drone. There's no way. The wind's blowing. It's freezing outside. and it came back in one piece. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
The footage is awesome.
That's so cool.
I'll
bet
show,
it's really
the
cool
viewers.
footage.
The footage can't turn out great, but Nashville's just such a beautiful town. There's so much heritage,
pretty.
so much, just so much love here, and people are nice. I mean, genuinely. Not that they're not nice in Orlando or other places, but they're just so genuinely nice. So, what would be your best word of advice for someone who's thinking about wanting to move to Nashville?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I love Nashville, and I do love the fact that people are so just sweet and genuine here. It makes me feel like I'm at home again, because I was born and raised in, North Carolina and Tennessee. So you got that very southern hospitality. But just be respectful. Don't come here blowing your horn in traffic. We hate that. I think that's one thing that I love here that I didn't get when I lived in Florida, was that people just lay down on their horns in Florida because, well, a lot of them are from New York.
Yeah, I was going to say the New Yorkers bring their driving skills.
They bring their driving skills. They lay down on the horns. In Nashville, it's like a well-known rule that, like, you don't blow your horn at people in traffic. You just motion for them to go on.
Well, thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, and just everybody's just nice. Like,
they really are. But wait, somebody said to me the other day. They said, Nashville's weird because, like, down south and up in New York and everything. If somebody tells you to F off, they just tell you to F off.
Yeah.
Here, it's like if somebody tells you, "Well, bless your heart." What does that mean? Is that somebody telling you to screw off or what?
Well, I hear people say that all the time, and I'm like, for me, when I say bless your heart, like, I genuinely actually mean that. But supposedly it's a thing with a lot of people that they're just like, oh, bless your heart, and they mean it in a negative way.
Oh, no.
I really genuinely mean that when I say it. So maybe I'm different because I'm a true Southern girl, so like, I legit really mean it.
Oh, I believe it. I hear it.
Yeah,
people say, I got a country accent. Yeah, I hear the
to be blessed.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What about have you ever watched the show Nashville?
Yeah,
the series?
Briefly, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So my wife and I got into it, and it's really pretty close to what my experience is of learning about what's going on. I mean, it touched upon a lot of things. I think 90% of the show is shot at the Bluebird, and which is just a epic, wonderful place and legendary place here.
Yeah.
As is the Grand Ole Opry, and I don't want to miss out anything, so I'm not going to keep listening because I'm a visitor.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a pretty cool show, so you might want to check it out. I don't know.
I need to, like, sit down and just binge watch the whole entire, like, every season.
Oh, no.
How many seasons
There's like
are there?
27 seasons.
Are you serious?
27 episodes per season.
A lot of my friends have been on the show, so I've or they've been a part of it in some form or fashion, whether production side or, that sort of thing. But I need to just sit down and binge watch every episode.
I got to a point where, like, time is as valuable as money. You've heard that saying, and it's so true. Especially when you get older and start getting gray, you're like, nah, I gotta. So I've gotten to a point where we watch the first episode of the season and then the last two of that and try to catch up with the old soap operas, Young and the Restless or whatever. But we're gonna watch the actual last two seasons all the way through. But it's interesting. It's really interesting. It's inspiring in some ways, and I think there's a lot of truth in the writing. I think there's a lot of truth in the stories of what they're, except maybe the romantic part of it. I mean, everybody switches boyfriends and girlfriends and all that. I don't want to ruin it for the viewers, but the music writing aspect of it is really interesting, and the politics of it, and how the industry really works.
Yeah,
it's a vicious industry.
It is a vicious industry.
Doesn't necessarily have to be.
Yeah,
I think full circle with real estate.
Yeah.
I think real estate makes the entertainment industry look like kindergarten. I think real estate, because I'm a realtor down in Florida.
Yeah.
Like, I dabble in it. And I'm telling you right now, I think it's just any industry that's oversaturated.
Yeah.
You're going to get your bad eggs.
Yeah.
That are going to take advantage. The snakes are going to come out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how can people reach you, learn about you, follow you on IG? Please look into the camera, tell them.
Yeah, great. So the easiest way to find me is just go to my website, which is ShellyLeatherman.com. You can connect on all my Instagram and all my socials and everything there. YouTube is a great way to find me. It's just Shelly Leatherman on YouTube as well. And super simple. It's pretty much Shelly Leatherman across all of the platforms.
Awesome. Salute. Thank you.
Yes, you're so welcome.
You want to do another one? We're going to do another one.
I'm down.
Let's keep the conversation going. We got
Let's
some more
keep it
questions.
going. I'm down for it.